Why do you still care about that boy? He has all but deserted you for the Keyblade and his new companions, after all.
I don't care about him. I was just messing with him a little.
Oh, really? Of course you were. Beware the darkness in your heart. The heartless prey upon it.
Mind your own business.
Riku! What's the matter with you? What are you thinking? Don't you realize what you're doing?
I was about to ask you the same thing, Sora. You only seem interested in running around and showing off that Keyblade these days. Do you even want to save Kairi?
I do.
Welcome back to WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. In the last episode, well, we basically found the road that led us to Riku and Pinocchio, and I decided to start off the episode without commentary, because it would have been a bunch of meaningless drivel really interrupting you from seeing a little bit more of the story, and a little bit more character development, etc. For really important cutscenes, I don't think I'm going to necessarily speak over all of them. Some of the more important ones I think I'm just going to leave be. I know I've spoken over almost everyone that's happened, but as the story becomes a little bit more,
You up for this?
well, story-focused,
No problem.
I may just back off from commentating during cutscenes that actually have voice acting. Okay, so enough of that. We've already come across the boss of Monstro. That was pretty quick. It's Parasite Cage. This is a very simple, heartless. I would have thought that they would have done more with this boss. He hardly has any moves, besides swinging these tentacles to just keep you away. I don't think you can actually fight him from the back. That would be way too easy. You just have to go up, and usually what I prefer to do is do an air combo, just hack and slash away at the front. Riku also helps you out with this range, considering how much Riku and Sora were at odds a moment ago. You can also counter those tentacles on occasion if you hit them at the right points, or if you manage to finish a full combo before they swing. Either is a very good strategy to use, and apparently Thunder doesn't really do much of anything. And yeah, that's all there is to it. On harder difficulty settings, I might recommend, say... Wow, what would I recommend? Oh yeah, using Arrow, just for a little bit more defense, because he will be able to hurt you a bit more on Expert. Other than that, very simple boss. And it doesn't even explode into a giant heart at the end, it just jumps up and throws Pinocchio away. Into that opening right there. That, by the way, that is what you think it is. Also, it's very strange considering that these are the bowels, and where that porthole leads. And as you can see, we're already level 27. I'm not sure exactly how significant that is for this point in the story. I know that by certain points, it's wise to be around level 40, but besides that, level numbers don't exactly mean too much, early on anyway. Also, yeah, I tried to use Thunder at the end to take out Parasite Cage, but it didn't do much good. You might have been noticing that, and wow, did they just show one random platform rise up in this room? I never noticed that before. Like, that literally happened for no reason.
Sorry, old man.
And also what was strange is, Riku, who was helping us out just a moment ago, suddenly had another change of heart and now has stolen Pinocchio. For reasons which remain kind of unclear and are vaguely explained later on.
But maybe he can help someone.
Anyway, yeah, Parasite Cage may have been the boss, but he is not the end of this world.
Are you talking about Kairi?
That sounds strange, Parasite Cage being the end of the world. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. I was going to mention that I've been using magic a bit more in combat. You might have been noticing me using thunder and fire a bit more in the last episode. Blizzard perhaps where it works. The one problem that I have, and I'm going to mention high jump in a moment, is that with Blizzard, it's actually harder to aim. Fire is more accurate. Blizzard, especially with its upgrades, spreads out from hitting the initial target, meaning it's not very useful if you're trying to hit a foe dead on. And Thunder is more useful also because it homes in on targets by just immediately appearing overhead and striking them without a doubt, if you have them targeted successfully and are able to cast the spell. So Thunder and Fire, generally, I find more useful than Blizzard. Anywho, we now have High Jump, as you just saw us get it from that treasure chest a moment ago. This is what I was talking about when I was saying how the platform was going to get a lot more entertaining. And anyway, we don't have that crappy jump anymore. We have a legitimate jump that any platformer would be proud of. It's basically just like a normal platformer jump, which finally brings out what could have made this game great from the start. which is platforming that actually works. Water Gleam, by the way, there. That's not a synthesis material. That's actually a summon gem. That's, I believe, is going to help us summon Dumbo if we bring that back to the Fairy Godmother. Fairly useless considering I don't think we're ever going to have to use that summon, but I'm not really sure exactly what Dumbo does myself. Maybe he's used for offense, actually, which sounds strange, but I think you can use Dumbo for offense, just to jump into your party. I'm going to explain summons now, that way when the time comes and we have to use them in a very tense situation, I don't have to mention exactly all their effects. The basic ideas with summons is that when you use them, Donald and Goofy will disappear for a short time. There will be a summon meter that shows how long that summon will stay in the battlefield, doing whatever effect it has. After that summon runs out, Donald and Goofy will return to your party. I'm not sure if you can use summons with people other than Donald and Goofy. I think you might be able to. I think they just take whatever your other two party members are at the time. Say if there was Aladdin who was also in the group, he would be exchanged for Dumbo or Simba or any of those good folks. Bambi. Those are the ones we've found so far. Actually, come to think of it, I think we have the summon gem for Simba, we just haven't gotten him from the Fairy Godmother. Anyway, with a high jump, what you want to do is, in the mouth, go to this area over here, and hop across... Oh, damn it! No! Crap! Whatever. Actually, never mind. We're going to go back to these old chambers, because there are, in fact, a few things you can do in the older chambers. There were some platforms that you would not be able to access unless you had the high jump. So instead of going to the next part of this, I guess, dungeon, or this hardly could be called a world, we're going to go back to some earlier rooms. I'm going to skip ahead after we clear out these search codes. That's what you don't have to see us fighting through crowds of Heartless, because I am going to get a bit more EXP before we meet again. Alright, in literally the room that I just went into, I cleared out a bunch of Heartless, and then I just hopped up here to one of these platforms to grab it. That one had a Tornado G, so that was basically worthless. The one up here should not be as worthless. There should be something good in it. The problem is these little annoying electric mages are getting in the way, so we're going to have to clear them out first to open the treasure chest. Which is a stupid mechanism. They could have had us use like any other button to open things instead of putting it on the same command menu. Because sometimes you just want to get the treasure and go, you know what I mean? Indiana Jones style. You don't want to fight everyone before you get it. That being said, EXP is EXP, and that's good. Alright, I cut ahead again. We've returned to the room with all the stairs, bro, and all those barrels. There's only one room that looks like this, so don't make me think that I have to show you exactly how to get here. Plenty of doors lead to it, and you have to come through here anyway to get where you need to go to fight Parasite Kid the first time. So you should be recognizing this room. If you're not, well, that's just too damn bad for you, because I was fighting way too many Heartless, and frankly, honestly, I'm doing you a favor by not making you see all the footage of me fighting every Heartless I come across in Monster. You had enough of that last episode. And you're getting enough of it now, so just be content. Okay, barrel spiders, out of my way. Now, I think we have to make our way to the highest point of the room. Yeah, right, that's where we have to go. Now that we have the high jump, there's going to be an extra platform that should be accessible up there for us to access. Oh yeah, by the way, I know I normally don't like to give away things ahead of time, so I'm not going to. I was thinking of perhaps divulging some information about my next LP, but I've decided to think against it. Anyway, just something I thought about, Skyward Sword. I feel like a bad person for having not played it yet, because usually, like, when a new Zelda game comes out, I'm pretty psyched about it, and I was psyched enough about it to basically spoil a ton of stuff about the game for myself, but I didn't really get around to playing it. Like, shortly after Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks, and Twilight Princess came out, I got around to playing those pretty quickly. And I haven't gotten to Skyward Sword yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm absolutely going to do it at some point. And I'm not saying I'm going to do a Let's Play of Skyward Sword. That's not what I meant to say. Just normal playing it, period. That way I can tell you guys what I think about it from my own experience. Because, if you don't know, which would be a shame, I'm a huge fan of the Zelda series, which is why I did that 110 episode Wind Waker Let's Play. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. And by the way, how sick nasty are these prizes up here? A Torn Page and a Mega Elixir. That's awesome. Well, the Torn Page is going to make us play a crappy-ass Winnie the Pooh game, so maybe that's not so awesome. But the Mega Elixir sure is. And, I mean, I did say we were going to do all the Winnie the Pooh stages, so we have to get all the Torn Pages anyway, so it's good that I'm finding them. And after this large body is cleared, once again, spells proving their usefulness, because you don't have to sneak behind a large body to hit him with a spell. Mithril! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mithril is actually used in Synthesis. Mithril shards, like I said, I don't think so. But that could just be my bad memory speaking for not remembering the game facts, FAQs, FAQs, whatever you call that. How is that pronounced, by the way? Feel free to tell me exactly how that's pronounced. Because, I mean, on one hand, I don't really care, but I'm going to keep mispronouncing it in the future unless someone warns me about it now. So, because I'm too lazy to look that up myself, I'm probably going to forget to look it up by the end of this episode. Someone out there who is helpful at finding information, please do find that for me. Thanks, much appreciated. And then feel free to post that in the comments. Anyway, where we're going to be headed next episode is, like I said, you want to go over here. And I got sidetracked and went back to those older rooms to get all that stuff. But we're going to climb back on the platform and jump up to the room next episode. See you then.